Southern Bancorp learned this week that it is eligible for up to $237.5 million in equity investment from a new federal program. I caught up with CEO Darrin Williams to learn more. Southern Bancorp is eligible for $237.5 million as part of an equity investment through a federal program. Tell me, what is this program? Why are you eligible? And what are you going to do with that money?
Well, thank you for the question. This is an exciting and really transformative time for the community development financial institution space. So back in 2020, this legislation was introduced and then passed in 2021. This program is called the Emergency Capital Investment Program, run by the Department of Treasury. And it's really designed to help communities that have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19, designed to help them recover and to get back and actually build back even better. And so this program makes equity investments available to community development financial institutions and to minority depository institutions. So I think you know very well, Roy, but your readers, your listeners may not know, a CDFI is a designation by the Department of Treasury. We are financial institutions that are designed to work in underserved communities, rural communities, minority communities, low wealth communities. We're designed to work for people for which the financial system and the banking system has not always worked well.
Well, tell me, so what are you going to do with this investment? What do you do with $237.5 million? Does it get deployed all across the board? Is there increments of how this works? How are you going to figure out what projects go where?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about this program, one thing that the CDFI and MDI space has always had limited access to, that's the capital. It takes capital to allow our institutions to grow and to expand, to reach deeper and to reach broader into communities that we serve. And so with this capital, we're going to leverage this capital to grow and expand, not just our footprint, but more importantly, our impact. So, Southern has a history of growing through acquisitions. We recently completed an acquisition just earlier this year. And so we intend to expand our footprint. We extend and intend to go deeper in communities, those that are traditionally not served well by traditional financial institutions. So we want to make loans to small and minority-owned businesses, to low and moderate income consumers, and particularly rural areas that we serve. And so with this capital, you will see Southern Bancorp over time expand our footprint. We're going to go into new communities, new markets, and create new programs designed to help underserved people and underserved communities.
Just to make sure I understand, that capital is basically the safety net for you guys to be able to make more loans, is what it turns into. You got to have reserves to make that happen. That capital works for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So a bank is able to use that capital to grow. It's growth capital. It's growth equity. And so a bank regulatorily has to have enough capital to support the assets that it holds. And so the more assets, the larger we get, the more capital base we have to support that. And this is that growth capital, that capital that will allow us to expand and grow our impact and our assets. We are now just a little bit north of $2 billion in assets. We intend to use this capital to grow quite a bit large that over the next several years.
You and I have talked about another project. I'm not sure if it's fully cooked yet, but I'm going to get you to talk about it anyway. It's the Minority Business Empowerment Fund. This is something you're doing here in Central Arkansas with some of the other banks in Arkansas. Exactly what is the Minority Business Empowerment Fund? And does this federal funding play into some of that somehow?
Well, we're proud of this new fund that we've created, and it's in partnership. You're right, with Simmons Bank. Simmons Bank's a huge partner. We're also partnered with the Rockefeller Foundation, and we anticipate other partners. This really is a part of an effort by Southern Bancorp as we move into the greater Little Rock area. We're going to open our first branch in Little Rock. It's been announced in the 12th Street corridor, in the 12th Street substation. And this is an effort to bring flexible capital to minority businesses to help them grow and expand. This is really also a project of 50 for the future. So Little Rock's business community wanted to figure out what it could do to support Black and brown businesses in the outgrowth of the George Floyd murder, with the Black Lives Matter movement, and the unrest we saw here in Little Rock. And so members of 50 for the Future met with members of the Black Lives Matter movement and said, what can we do to advance racial equity in the city? And one of the things that was suggested and asked for was access to capital. Of course, it's that capital that allows a business to grow. And we know minority borrowers typically don't have access to capital like traditional borrowers. And so whether it's friends and family capital, whether it's bank capital, we just don't have those access points for many minority borrowers. And so this fund is going to combine two really important elements. It's going to combine really deep, high-touch financial development services and small business technical assistance. So these businesses are going to have access to lawyers, to accountants, to marketing professionals, to help them do market analysis, to help them grow and expand their business and grow their revenue. And those that are ready and want to, then will have access to flexible loan capital and almost equity-like. So this capital may take a number of forms. It might be a traditional loan. It also might be a loan with interest-only payments for a period of time, or a loan based on the revenue expansion of the business. So it gives that business owner some time to grow and expand that business and to increase that revenue. And we know that if these businesses succeed, they will hire more people. That will also obviously help those communities and those people grow and expand and really rise all boats. We're pretty excited about this fund. We've also partnered with the city of Little Rock. Mayor Scott's been a big proponent of this, and we're excited about the opportunity to bring this to Central Arkansas. This is a pilot. We've kind of really just begun to talk about it. The excitement is brewing. We were planning to have about 50 businesses in this pilot. Right now, Roby, we have about 63 that are signed up. So we're trying to figure out how we can expand this pilot.
Sounds like you need more money. So we'll put that pitch out there for everybody. Anthony Young was announced this week as the new president of Southern Bancorp Community Partners, which is an arm of Southern Bancorp there. Right. Tell me about Anthony Young and what his role in all of this may be, or none of this may be.
Yeah. Well, he's got a huge role. We're excited to have Anthony on board. Anthony is a native of Mississippi. He's spent most of his working career in the Memphis market. We also serve that community. And so we're excited to have Anthony. This Minority Business Empowerment Fund that I'm talking about, it's actually a fund run by Southern Bancorp Community Partners, our nonprofit arm. What's important about that unit is that they're able to provide very flexible capital in ways that a traditional regulated bank may not be able to. So they can really reach deeper and do things that a regulated bank may not be able to do from a regulatory standpoint. And so Anthony, he's been in this space for a long time doing great work. We're excited to have him. The former president of SBCP, Southern Bancorp Community Partners, was Dr. Karama Neal. President Biden tapped her, and she's now the administrator of Rural Business and Cooperative Services at USDA, Department of Agriculture. And so we're excited that a nationwide search. We got Anthony. Anthony's excited. He starts January 1, and he's gonna have a lot to do with the Minority Business Empowerment Fund and really with the growth of Southern. As we look at the Memphis market, we look at more and more markets across the Mid-South.